gist of ADCC.
In the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there are black belts, there are champions, and then there's Gordon Ryan, a man so dominant, so technically overwhelming, and so mentally ruthless that entire divisions change the moment his name appears on the bracket.
Squeezing it against the top with anything.
Competitors don't just prepare for him, they obsess over him, study him, fear him.
Top of that, he's the most dedicated, the most intelligent, the most technical.
Because Gordon Ryan isn't just winning, he's redefining what unbeatable looks like.
11 seconds! It's time to take a closer look at how the Iron Dragon.
This is the story of the most feared man in modern BJJ and how he became the king of a sport that was never ready for someone like him. Chapter 1, Before the Crown. Before the world ever called him the king, Gordon Ryan was simply a determined kid from New Jersey, quiet, intense, and driven by obsession that most people around him couldn't understand. There was nothing particularly glamorous about his beginnings. He didn't grow up under legendary instructors or inside a prestigious academy decorated with champions. He wasn't born with the kind of flawless genetics that create instant prodigies. But what he did have, even as a teenager, was an unusual kind of focus, the sort that turns a casual interest into a lifelong mission.
When he was 15 years old, he began training in BJJ and left his initial gym to train with Gary Tonin.
By the age of 15, Gordon was already training multiple times a day, pushing his limits in ways most young athletes never consider. At 18, he was rolling with seasoned competitors, beating advanced grapplers who should have overpowered him.
Ryan was ready to begin competing at a higher level, winning the IBJJF World No-Gi title as a brown belt.
And by 21, he quietly turned into a genuine threat on the world stage, an emerging problem the jiu-jitsu community still didn't know how to classify. He had the raw potential, he had the hunger.
Later that same year, Gordon put on what many consider to be his first true breakthrough performance.
And at this point, he was still only a brown belt, dangerous enough to scare black belts, but unfinished enough to know he'd barely scratched the surface. But he was still missing one crucial ingredient. He needed structure, he needed refinement, he needed a system capable of turning raw drive into unstoppable dominance.
See it open, he's hooking the leg, that means that will not allow Josh to stand up. If he doesn't hook the leg, there's the
Chapter 2, the basement that changed everything. But systems aren't discovered by accident. They're forged usually at the breaking point. For Gordon, that moment came when he realized talent and grit can only take him so far. He was winning, yes, not dominating, not yet. He didn't just want to be better than the competition. He wanted to be untouchable, inevitable, the kind of athlete whose name alone reshapes a division. Then everything changed.
John Danaher, one of the instructors at Henzo's Jiu-Jitsu Academy in New York.
Because the universe introduced him to a man who didn't just teach jiu-jitsu, he engineered it, a coach with a mind like a supercomputer, a strategist who could see the sport 10 years into the future. John Danaher, where others saw techniques, Danaher saw equations. Where others saw matches, he saw data patterns. Where others practiced moves, he built systems, interconnected, powerful, airtight.
John definitely changed the way I thought about jiu-jitsu. Like when I first met John, I was like basically just winning matches.
To Gordon, it felt like discovering a secret language, a code that unlocked the sport piece by piece. Until Danaher, every role had purpose, every drill had depth, every weakness had a blueprint attached to it. The obsession Gordon already had now had direction, sharp, focused, weaponized. Suddenly, the kid from New Jersey wasn't just improving, he was transforming, not into a champion, but into a phenomenon. Chapter 3, the birth of the king. But fear, that didn't come from his potential. It came from what he did with it.
Maintained his dominance in the sport, causing many to speculate on what exactly was giving Gordon his edge over the competition.
Because once Gordon entered Danaher's system, the transformation was immediate, terrifying. Suddenly, tournaments weren't competitions, they were dissections. Opponents weren't rivals, they were test subjects.
Work in the training room towards not just good technique, but excellent technique.
And every match Gordon fought looked less like a struggle and more like a demonstration. A calm, calculated breakdown of another human being's defense, delivered with a confidence that bordered on unsettling. The jiu-jitsu world had never seen someone this young, this technical, this ruthlessly precise. And that's when the whispers began.
Beautiful pass, Mike. You look at him, nice.
Not just winning, he's taking people apart. It's becoming a problem for the entire sport. The fear didn't come from his strength, It didn't come from his size, it came from his inevitability.
When a heel hook attempt fails,
Oh, there's that heel hook again.
Ryan immediately switches to a knee bar.
If Gordon got to your legs, it was over. If he got to your back, it was over. If he got to any position he wanted, it was over. The community wasn't watching a rising star anymore. They were watching the blueprint of a future era.
Greatest no-gi jiu-jitsu competitor that's ever lived. Everybody's scared of him. And he dominates.
Just like that, the nickname started forming. Quietly, reluctantly, almost nervously. The King. Not because he declared it, not because everyone else felt it. He didn't just defeat elite grapplers, he erased their options. That's the moment the sport realized Gordon Ryan wasn't just another competitor. He was becoming the most feared man in modern Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Chapter 4, The Anatomy of Dominance.
Here we go. Here we go. Gordon Ryan now with the arm drag to the back of Jusla. Over under grips, gets to the back.
Gordon Ryan isn't feared for his strength, size, or flashy moves. He's feared for inevitability. Once he decides what he wants on the mats, it becomes nearly impossible to stop him.
Twist that arm out, trying to twist the elbow out to get a better bite on that, but Gordon patiently stood up.
Doesn't rely on improvisation. Every movement is a part of a carefully calculated system. Every position, transition, and attack exists within a hierarchy, an invisible roadmap guiding him from control to submission. Opponents may see it coming, even understand it, but understanding doesn't change the outcome. By the time the trap is set, it's too late.
Fast, not super slow, but it's consistent and it's like a metronome, and it slowly wears you down.
Once he secures a dominant position, mount, back control, or leg entanglement escape becomes a theory, not a practice. He pressures, manipulates, and waits for the perfect moment to finish. There's no chaos, no gamble, just steady, suffocating control that drains hope from the very air around him. The most terrifying part? There are no secrets. Everyone knows what he's capable of. They know the moves, the setups, the sequences, and still they cannot stop him. Dominance isn't just skill, it's inevitability. When the world watches Gordon Ryan, it doesn't see a competitor. It sees the blueprint of supremacy. It sees a man who's mastered the essence of control, timing, and pressure. And it sees why, more than anyone in modern BJJ, he is the most feared man on the mats. Every legendary athlete has a rival, someone who pushes them to their limits, someone who tests their skill, stamina, and mind. Gordon Ryan exists in a different reality. Rivals appear, anticipation builds, and then when the match happens, they disappear.
Is over. The champ versus champ. This is Andre Galvão versus Gordon Ryan.
Andre Galvão was once seen as the ultimate test, a seasoned champion, respected across the grappling world and considered a near impossible obstacle for the rising star. Their rivalry was intense, personal, and long-awaited. But when they finally met at ADCC 2022, Gordon didn't just win, he dismantled Galvão with precision. The submission was clean, efficient, and inevitable. The world realized in that moment that the student had not just surpassed the master, he'd erased the notion of a true equal. Felipe Pena, once the man who handed Gordon early career defeats, also faded into history. Their later clashes no longer carried the tension of uncertainty. The skill gap had become a canyon. Even Craig Jones, a fan favorite and one of the most technical grapplers alive, could not solve the puzzle. 2 attempts, 2 defeats, the same result, inevitability. In truth, Gordon's most persistent opponent has been his own body injuries, illnesses, and setbacks have sidelined him repeatedly. Yet even after months or years away, he returns and performs at a level that reminds the world why he's feared above all else. For other competitors, fear isn't only about skill. It's the realization that no matter how well prepared you are, the game has already been calculated, the system already in motion, and the outcome already written. That's the mark of the most feared man in modern BJJ. Gordon Ryan's story is far from over. Every time he steps onto the mats, the world watches not to see if he will win, to see how he will dominate. His legacy's still being written, his system's still evolving. His influence on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is only growing stronger. For aspiring grapplers, he's a benchmark. For competitors, he is a nightmare. And for fans of the sport, he's a phenomenon. A man who redefined what it means to be unstoppable. One day, someone might challenge his reign. One day, perhaps, someone will figure out a way to defeat him. Until that day comes, the name Gordon Ryan will remain synonymous with fear, control, and absolute supremacy on the mats. The mats are his kingdom. The game is his system. And for anyone stepping into the world, the warning is clear. You are facing the most feared man in modern Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.